The bank vault had a door that weighed 20 tons, and the walls were built with cement mixed with iron. The makers were so confident about it that they didn't even install a security alarm in the bank vault, because it was called an unbreakable vault. But this belief was shattered when the robbers made a master plan and stayed hidden inside the bank vault for a full 27 hours, fooling the security. What was this master plan? And why is this bank robbery considered the biggest robbery in history? Before talking about this, we go straight to the day of 19 July 1976. It was Monday morning, the sun had risen, and in the French city of Nice, the staff of Société Générale Bank had started arriving. This bank was known for having the world's most secure and strongest vault, even up to this day. Something happened like this. As usual, the bank's staff went to open the vault door. It was a very strong door with extremely difficult locks. They entered the lock combination, but the lock didn't open. Now, it is important to know that this door had caused problems before as well, because its weight was almost 20 tons, so it used to get stuck often. The bank staff thought that the door had jammed again today, so they called the company that had built the vault. After 30 minutes, experts from the vault company arrived and tried to open the door. But the problem was that this time, even the experts couldn't open the door. They tried many times, but the door refused to open. Now the situation became serious, because customers were lined up outside and the reputation of the bank was at stake. After 3 hours, they decided to drill a hole through the wall of the bank vault to see what was stuck. There were no signs of forced entry on the vault door, and there were no marks of any kind on any of the walls. When they drilled through the heavy-duty wall and looked inside, they discovered that someone had welded the vault door shut from the inside. It was a scene that was hard to believe, because there was only one way into the vault. There was no window, no vent, nothing. Entering the vault was supposed to be impossible. Seeing this, everyone realized that something was very wrong. More machinery was brought in, and they decided to break through the vault wall. This was very time-consuming, because these walls were much stronger than normal walls and had iron inside them. After some hours, the hole was big enough for a person to enter, and when they looked inside, the scene was unbelievable. The bank vault had been looted. Some lockers were open, some were broken, and the most interesting thing was that on the wall of the vault, these famous words were spray-painted: "Without arms, without hate, and without violence." Just as the bank staff regained their senses, they saw a tunnel on the vault floor. Now it was police work, and the police had already reached the bank by that time. The robbers had broken open 400 out of 4,000 safe boxes and escaped with money and gold bars. The tunnel they had dug led into the city's largest underground sewage line. Inside the sewage line, the police found many clues, including tools and 27 gas cylinders that the robbers had used to run the welding torch. Not only this, but they also found ventilation equipment for fresh air and nearly 1 kilometer of electric cable. This robbery was worth more than $20 million, which today becomes around $110 million. This was not only the biggest bank heist of the century, but the police investigation that followed was also considered the biggest in France's history. Now the news had spread through the whole world. The bank's reputation suffered heavily, and for the French police, it was a moment of deep embarrassment. For the next few months, the police put in all their efforts. They questioned nearby residents and interrogated the bank staff, but they could not find any clue about the robbers. Then 3 months later, in October 1976, the French police got a very big lead. One member of the gang was caught because of a tip from his own girlfriend. At first, he didn't confess, but when the police questioned him in their own style, he revealed the names of the other gang members. What shocked the police was that this gang used to be known for small, petty thefts, and now they had done such a huge bank heist. It was hard to digest. The mastermind behind this plan was actually someone else. During interrogation, the gang members gave the police the name of a man who, according to them, was the mastermind behind this robbery. So, he didn't look like a criminal from anywhere. simple dressing, simple lifestyle, and he lived in a normal house on the outskirts of the city. When the police asked his neighbors, everyone said the same thing. Albert was an innocent photographer who always minded his own business. But what the police were thinking about Albert Spaggiari was completely different from the truth. He immediately confessed in front of the police that he was the mastermind of the bank heist. For the police, this case was almost closed now. But actually, this was just the beginning of the case. Because according to Albert, he had first taken a locker in this bank, and using that excuse, he would go inside the vault and capture photos of everything. He had first placed an alarm clock inside his own locker and set the alarm for nighttime. When the alarm rang and no alert happened and no security alarm rang, he confirmed that there was no security system inside the vault. Then he went to the engineers and introduced himself as a city government officer and got the map of the city. From this map, he estimated how far the sewage lines could open. After making calculations, he found out that by digging a tunnel of about 26 feet, he could directly reach the bank vault. Now, this work required a lot of hard labor. So Albert contacted a gangster in the city and told him his entire plan. The gangster also liked Albert's plan, and he put his men on the job. It took them around 2 months to dig the tunnel because the work was being done without any machinery, and it was extremely important to do it only at night when there was no one in the bank. During this time, Albert tried his best that no sound could reach the sewage lines. Then, on the night of Saturday and Sunday, 18th July, these people finally reached the vault. For the next 27 hours, they calmly looted everything. During this time, they even had lunch there and dinner there. And before leaving, they wrote those famous words and then left. The police presented Albert in court, where he admitted his crime in front of the judge. And during interrogation, he wrote the evidence of his plan and the details of the stolen amount on a paper in code words. He said that he would give this evidence only to the judge, and only the judge would be able to read this code word. For this, the judge called Albert directly into his chamber. Albert went to the judge with the paper. Then Albert gave those papers to the judge and stood behind the judge, explaining the city map to him. While the judge was busy trying to understand the map, Albert suddenly jumped out of the window of the room. The room was on the first floor, and a car was parked right below it. Albert fell straight on that car, stood up immediately, and then sat on a bike that had already been waiting for him there, and escaped. Despite thousands of attempts by the police, he was never caught. Many years later, he gave an interview on an Italian TV show podcast, where he said that he had loved treasures since the age of 12, and he fulfilled that desire through this robbery. It felt like he was mocking the French police during the interview. And after that, where Albert went, this mystery was never solved. In 1989, Albert Spaggiari died. His mother said that someone kept Albert's dead body outside their house and then went away. So this was the complete story of the biggest bank robbery in the world. If you liked this video, then like this video. Thank you so much for your lovely comments.